welcome back to my channel. You might wonder why I'm sitting on the floor. I want to talk to you about making costumes for World Book Day this week. On Thursday we've got World Book Day coming up, and as a mum I've got to make costumes. Please excuse my voice, I've had a cold and it's turned into sinusitis, so I've had like just a heavy head all weekend. But still, this doesn't stop the fact that I have to make costumes. So I have very mixed feelings about World Book Day. On one hand, I'm going to be for anything that means that kids are encouraged to read and talk about books and love books. You know, because of course adults don't have World Book Day. We're not wishing each other happy World Book Day or talking about books at work or to each other particularly, or no more than usual anyway, I think. It's just something that seems to happen at school. And I don't remember it happening when I was a kid. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to be a new thing. The trouble is that it seems to have turned into World Book Week for my daughter's class. It's not just a case of making a costume, it's also, you know, taking a book in and sharing your favourite stories and talking about bedtime routines. And literally, my daughter has got something every single day that I've got to try and remember to send her in with something. And I mean, that's one thing. And then the other problem is that there's things where I have to go into school to do stuff with her or meet her at the library and things like that. I mean, I think it's all great ideas, but the trouble is that when you have a school that does lots of involved things like that, what if you work? You know, what if your kid is the one that's parent isn't there? Or, you know, I feel for those parents who've got to try and take time off work so that they can go in for these things. It's really hard. I feel really torn, because on one hand I think, oh fantastic, we're talking about books and we're talking about stories and we're talking about, you know, everything to do with books, and really there's nothing better you can do for a child than teach them to read, because if they can read, they can teach themselves anything. You know, so by teaching them to read, you actually teach them potentially everything. You open up the whole world to them. But on the other hand, as a parent, I've got to go into school, remember to, you know, do kid stuff, do all this homework stuff, and I've got to make costumes. Now, the other trouble is, I am a bit of a costume purist. I don't like shop-bought costumes, and that's not to say that I don't ever use shop-bought costumes. My kids do have some, and if they have an event at school or a party or something where we already have the costume, then they'll wear that. But I don't generally go and specifically buy a costume for a particular event. I tend to make them. And I think this comes from when I was a kid. And I mean, when we were children, I don't think there were as many costumes. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I mean, there was the whole thing of the bin bag witch. You didn't get like a special plasticky dress that you can go and buy in Asda or Sainsbury's or wherever. It was, you had an old bin bag put over your head, and if you were lucky, you were bought a hat and you didn't have to wear a black cardboard one. Now, you know, you go and buy a costume. I just think it was more of a thing back then to actually make something. And my mum was really, really crafty. She would make pretty much anything I ever asked to be. For example, I wanted to be Bertie Bassett for a fancy dress costume when we went on holidays, Pontins one year. And my mum rose to the challenge. And she spent, gosh, it must have been a month, 2 months, every evening with her friend sitting and making this thing. My mum and her best friend. And they used foam and fabric and bubble wrap and paints, and I mean, this was a serious construction, and they made the best Bertie Bassett costume that you have ever seen. I'm going to insert a picture now. And as you can see, I won a prize for it. If ever I wanted to be something, my mum would make me things. I can remember having to wear dresses made of crepe paper, and you know, it was always handmade. And I look back on that with fondness, whereas I don't remember the times when mum took me to a shop and said, which costume would you like to buy? And that's what I think with my kids. I don't, you know, I want them to be able to say to me, I want to be this, and I will make that costume or put that costume together. Not that we just go to a supermarket and I say, oh, which one of these do you want to be? You know, that's not me putting down anybody who does do that, because I totally understand why people would do that, given the amount of costumes I've had to sit and make late into the night. It's just the way I feel about it. And I'd like to give you an example. Last summer, we went to the Broadstairs Folk Festival. We go every year. and we were watching the Hidden Horses. If you're not sure what they are, do a Google search, because I think they're quite a Kentish thing, but you might have seen them on The Wicker Man if you've ever seen that film. And my kid said Hidden Horses are the scariest thing that we've ever seen. So they said that's what they wanted to be for Halloween. They planned it months in advance. Of course, I didn't actually do it at the time or spread my time out. I did it like 2 nights before Halloween. And they insisted not just that they had like a horse's head on a stick, but that it had a fully working mechanism. So I'd had to ask around how you can get a mouth to open and close using kind of a string system. Now, these costumes looked awesome. I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but like these were some cool costumes. They look terrible up close. They're basically wrapped in sellotape. But from far away, they look awesome and terrifying. I'm going to insert a clip here. It's taken on my mobile phone, so the quality's not the best. As you can see, those costumes are just... like, I'm proud. I like to think they're going to remember that. They're going to talk about that when they're my age, about the time when their mum made this thing. Anyway, enough of my rambling. For World Book Day, fortunately my daughter wants to be something which we already have a costume for. She wants to be a penguin from a book called Perky Little Penguins. She's got a penguin onesie, so done. She's sorted. My son wants to be a pigeon. Now, I've already talked about on my 5 best children's books, the fact that mine and theirs, one of our favourite children's books is right here, Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus. I've been instructed to dress my son up as this. Now I've looked it up on Pinterest because really, like, my son is not pigeon shaped. This is not so easy. I have some ideas. I thought while I sit and make his costume, I'd bring you along with me to see what I do, how I make it. Right, so this is not a tutorial. This is not how to make costumes. This is just what I have to do as a parent that believes in hand making costumes and, has kids that have got the World Book Day thing. So, for this costume, I have got my sewing bits, because I'm planning to do a little bit of stitching. I've got my awesome pincushion that my mum bought me for Christmas. Look, it is a little sheep. And he has, wrong way around. It's a little sheep, and he's got glasses. I like him. So my sewing bits, I've got some glue, and I bought him a hoodie, a blue hoodie to match the blue pigeon. As you can see, the colour's off. It was the best I could do at reasonably short notice. I wanted to do a buy it now on eBay so that I didn't have to wait ages and ages for it to arrive. I did actually find one that was a lighter blue on an auction, but I didn't win it, so we've got to go for the fact that this is almost like a royal blue. The light's not great because it's evening, so maybe can't see the colour so well, but it's the best I can manage. So I've got a hoodie and a couple of old cut-offs of fabric. So first things first, I'm going to make some eyes. Okay, so I'm going to draw around here my collection of threads with a pencil to make a circle. There we go, beautiful. Fold it over so I can make 2. Keep that still. I'm going to stick a pin through it and then literally freehand cut it out. I mean, after all, it's a kid's costume. It's going to be for one day. It does not need to be perfect. These are amazing fabric scissors. It's worth investing in a good pair because they cut so beautifully. Right, now in Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, the pigeon has got black rings around his eyes, so I've just gone and got a permanent marker, and I'm just going to lean on this black bit of cloth so I don't get marks all over my floor, and I'm going to give these eyes black rings. So I realised I'd got this bit of fabric to make the pupils, but actually I didn't need that. I've made one already where I've just drawn it on. Let's make life easy for ourselves. This is like the best angles, the best lighting, isn't it? Good. So we have 2 eyes or boobies, depending on how you look at it. Okay, and I'm also going to have to make a stripe that goes around the pigeon's neck. I'm just going to do it by eye. Grab this old bit of cotton again, about that long. I can always trim it later. And then I'm just gonna cut by eye. Fingers crossed. Oh look, it gets thinner as it goes along. This is the trouble with my kind of crafting. I could measure things, but I don't. Always was a bit slapdash. There. So, I've got a strip that goes along the hood and 2 eyes. So, let's get sewing. I mean, I've got plenty of chairs in this room, but for some reason, I feel like when you make things, you've got to sit on the floor. It's because I've got to be in contact with, you know, my roots. My earthly roots of making. You probably hear my daughter coughing upstairs. All these coughs and illnesses, it's awful. So I like to, first of all, use my mouth as a handy place to keep my needle. Supposedly, I think I saw this on QI. If a train went through a tunnel, women would put needles in their mouths so that nobody could kiss them while it was dark. So I'm going to pin that in place. Normally when I'm doing things like this, I would watch TV or talk to my husband or something. He's disappeared off because he knows I'm filming to go and watch Star Trek. He seems to be on some kind of Star Trek marathon at the minute. Has it just come on Netflix or something? I don't know. In theory, I should probably hem the edges of this because it is going to shed bits of thread, but quite frankly, I can't be bothered. The messiest, biggest stitches that anybody ever did see. But I don't care. He'll wear this once, he'll take it apart. What does it matter? Never been any good at tying off threads. It's always messy. You're supposed to just sort of weave them in, I think. Well, maybe is that just embroidery? This is probably the first video where I've worn glasses. Yeah, it is. I haven't worn glasses on videos before. I'm a bit vain in general. But no, I'm a bit vain about my glasses and also the glare thing. I'm long-sighted and I have a lazy eye. I had to wear a patch when I was a kid. Not just because I'm a pirate. One white stripe. And now, 2 shifty looking eyes looking backwards. Because that's what it looks like. Backwards eyes. Here goes. And repeat on the other side. Okay, then I'm going to take all my pins out and stab them back in my sheep. Needles go in the head and pins go in the body. Poor sheep. I feel like he had a name. I don't know what it is. Leave below in the comments. What should I call my sheep? So we've got eyes and the collar, the white collar bit. Finally I need a beak. Now I was gonna use fabric, but I didn't have any yellow fabric, I only had orange, and his beak is more yellow. And B, I thought paper might actually have a bit more stiffness to it to hold sort of a beaky shape. So what I'm going to do is stick a piece of yellow, the light's not great in here, a piece of yellow kind of sugar paper to a piece of card to give it a bit of stiffness. And then I'm gonna fold that in half. Sorry, just had to run and get non-fabric scissors. You mustn't use fabric scissors on paper. It blunts them, supposedly. Okay, and I'm going to make a beak by eye again. Okay, risk it. If it goes wrong, we can always make it again. Just go for it, be brave. Beak. Perfect, I would say. Looks about right. And I am going to sew on this beak. Again, don't want to glue it because I don't want to spoil the hoodie. If I sew it, I can take it back off. That's not quite central. That's so annoying. Oh well, can't really re-sew cardboard. One week. So that costume has just taken me about an hour to make. Although I did get up and feed the baby in the middle of it because she's got a bit of a cold, so she's waking up all the time. Hopefully she won't be so bad for the rest of the night. Anyway, one pigeon costume. Let's see if I can put it on. I don't know if I can. Put the hood on like a cape. Ooh. Oh, that's my face. Pigeon. I don't think I can get the arms in. No, oh, maybe. So 7 to 8. Yeah, I can get in. Oh, there we go. An age 7 to 8 hoodie. We've got. Over the side. Yeah. I don't think that's too bad from this guy. Not bad. I mean, let's face it. That's the best it's going to get. He's going to wear it, I think, with some black trousers or like dark shorts, depends on the snow at the moment that's coming over from Russia, I've heard. Black shoes, job done. You know, it's simple, but it means at least that he can be the character that he wants to be rather than, you know, just what character they have at the supermarket. And, you know, it's one of his favourite books, so at least he's going to be that kid, isn't he? He's the kid with the terrible costumes, with the really bad quality sewing. Anyway, happy World Book Day. Sorry, I keep looking in the viewfinder because I'm looking at my own creation. Happy World Book Day, and I hope you read lots. I hope that your costume making is not quite so painful. Actually, to be fair, this wasn't so bad. But have fun. I hope your kids have fun. Please like if you did, and please sub. Tell it's late and that I'm ill. I mean, it's 9 now, is it? Yeah, 9. Please subscribe for more videos like this one. Bye!